Game developers and the media have been doing their very best to defend Sweet Baby Inc. ever since the detected list blew up in popularity, and now we have the senior narrative designer at Bungie attacking anybody who is talking about narrative consultation companies and the negative effect they've had on the industry. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, yes, there have been many people supporting Sweet Baby Inc. Most notably, the media has done their very best to run damage control, but also video game developers who work at larger companies like Bungie, because of course a lot of their company philosophy are the same things that Sweet Baby Inc. is pushing into the industry, and some of these companies have of course worked with Sweet Baby Inc., but this one recent thread blew up, but not for positive reasons. Of course, as you can see, it is locked now. Only specific accounts can reply to it because he was getting completely and utterly annihilated. But it says, if you're mad about DEI ruining games, you need to grow up. You need to stop wasting so much time on grifters who are only there to manipulate you and milk your anger for engagement. You need to talk to people who aren't like you a bit more. You need to stop falling for this. But I could say these same exact things because these are the types of people who are closed-minded. These are the types of people who do not actually want to talk to people who are not like them. And this is a major issue, okay? Because this individual, of course, he works for a big company. He feels like he is invincible and he could never face repercussions for saying things on social media when, yes, the company Bungie themselves may not, tell him to go on social media and apologize or even delete these tweets, but that does not mean that his actions are free of consequences, because he has proven to people how little they actually matter to him, even though we're the ones who he needs to buy his products in order to continue to keep his job. He just doesn't care about us. You need to stop wasting your time on grifters who are only there to manipulate you. I'm sure that he would classify me as one of these grifters simply for trying to educate consumers. This is the problem, is he does not want consumers to be educated, because then people would go, I don't want to support Sweet Baby Inc. I don't want to support companies and individuals who are supporting Sweet Baby Inc., but he does not care at all whatsoever. He is more than happy to say, you do not matter to me if you do not agree with me. And not only is he defending a company which promotes an agenda Bungie also follows, but an agenda he personally subscribes to. These narratives are ones that individuals like this wholeheartedly support. Okay, he should stop wasting so much time on social media and actually get to making good games and stop disappointing his player base, because over the past few years, people have not been particularly happy with Destiny 2. While yes, it still has gotten some crazy player numbers in the past, we are talking about a 7-year-old game. You can only milk one game for so long before people get sick and tired of it. And yes, there have been, over the past year or so, many different discussions on the future of Destiny as a franchise in totality, because there are plenty of people who feel that they went too long with Destiny 2 and now have backed themselves into a corner because people are no longer interested in something like a Destiny 3. I mean, this is just one of the many articles, and this is a new article. It says Destiny 2's low player count is the symptom of deeper problems. There have been people stepping away from Destiny 2 in droves, but instead one of their big leads on the project is more worried about going on social media and defending a shitty company like Sweet Baby Inc. instead of actually doing their job. And to top this off, he released this statement, which was not really an apology, but an acknowledgement. He said, I made a flippant and condescending comment the other day out of frustration that drew a lot of heat. So right off the bat, you can tell that he's not actually apologetic, or he doesn't really care about the things he said and who they were directed at. He probably got a little bit of a talking down to by his superiors, who said, you really need to make a follow-up comment to that, or he just simply got sick and tired of the backlash he was facing. But either way, he's not actually apologetic. I'm not really happy with how I said what was said, despite standing by the core of it. Oh yeah, I'm not really happy that people could use my words against me. That's all he's saying. People who know me know I value transparency and discussion. If you actually value discussion, you wouldn't have the replies locked. He has the replies locked on this thread, on the original tweet that he made, and I'm not trying to, toot my own horn here, okay, but his initial tweet has 632 likes. Mine have 2.2k likes on the topic. I didn't lock my replies. He could have commented, hey, I want to have a discussion with you about this. If you can be civil, I can be civil too. But he didn't do that because he doesn't want to have a discussion with creators that he's attacking, or with the fans of maybe his work, or even fans of the Sweet Baby Inc. detected list. He doesn't want to have a discussion. He just wants to be able to talk in his little echo chamber. Even debate, he said. It was difficult not to respond, but I knew it would be fruitless in that environment, so I muted the thread to just let people vent in hopes that a discussion could resume later. If you actually wanted a discussion to resume later, you would have the replies on, but he doesn't, because he's just proving that he doesn't want to talk about it. He says, I think there's more common ground and common enemies here than we realize, but there's a good deal of misunderstanding and manipulation obfuscating the problem. Anyway, this is the last I'll say for now, reflecting on how I could have approached this in a better way. You could have simply told people that you wanted to have a discussion about it, and you shouldn't have went into it attacking anybody who was wanting to converse about the topic of DEI ruining games. Yes, people do feel like companies like Bungie, who are focusing on DEI over story and just quality of product, are ruining the gaming industry. I mean, look at what Bungie has done over the past few years. I did a video just 4 months ago about Bungie being Latin. AEOX is more than just a location on a map. It just being a Hispanic is more than the language we might speak. This new idea campaign that they had got absolutely annihilated. It got community noted. It got it roasted by, fans of Bungie, whether they're fans now or fans in the past. Many people came together to roast them, but then they also hid hundreds of responses. So this lead narrative director does not want to have conversation about controversial topics. Bungie doesn't want to have conversations about controversial topics, because overall, we are talking about, again, an individual who is not only defending Sweet Baby, a company which promotes an agenda, but Bungie also follows the agenda they personally subscribe to. That's why they work at a company like Bungie. Over the past few days, we have seen many people, within the gaming industry try to defend Sweet Baby Inc., whether they're Sweet Baby employees or simply developers who work at these larger companies, and even just developers who want to feel like they are part of a change that they can support, that they can get behind. I personally do not support any of this activism. Obviously, that's why I'm talking about Sweet Baby Inc. so much on this channel, and I will continue to do so, because yes, DEI does need to be called out, because while diversity and inclusion are good things, the problem is that companies are using them in negative ways. Companies are not focusing on quality of story or on character development, but saying, oh, let's put a minority in a lead role, and that right there we are going to use as a shield for the rest of our game that might be mediocre. It is an unacceptable situation what is happening in the industry, and of course over the next couple of days and weeks, I'm sure that there are going to be more developers and more media outlets who go online and try their very best to defend sweet babying, but people are fighting back against it and people are sick and tired of the bullshit. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.